which is activities usage profile. But here we can have only man hours, means we cannot have separate resource ID. If you see here, we can have unit for labor, okay, labor hours, but we do not know how much is for the labor, means how much is for cost. And so we have here units for labor, but we do not have for carpenter, steel fixer and mason. So this is one of the case as well. We brought this in order to find the carpenter budgeted unit and actual units, how much carpenter has been done, how much steel fixer is done. So if we want such information, we always go for resource assignment, which is a resource management plan, not the earned value management. So now we can do one thing more. We can extract the data from here and we can use it as a resource. For example, reference this, and I will call it labor units distribution. So I know that now this is having only the labor related data, and labor means I can see carpenter, steel fixer separately, but for budgeted unit, actual unit, remaining unit, at completion unit, not for the performance mean, because budgeted units mean it can be shifted away or towards the data date, we know that. And if anything is shifting, this is not a standard set for us. So this is not for earned value, because earned value is always done for locked units. So this is a budgeted unit, so we are just looking for the resource management. So here I will make a filter, resource type is equal to only labor. This is done as well. So far we have developed this system. So one thing more we need to adjust here, which is what we are going to do for labor units. We know that we need to give the same name. So this is the practice you need to make as well. Whatever the references you have done, just copy that and give this name here. So we know that actual cost distribution, because once we are using DAX codes, so there will be a lot of, for example, if I use the same name, a lot of distribution units, so I do not know which one is this. So I will remember from there actual cost distribution. Okay, so make this practice that you need to give the same name to this head. So I will do in here as well. But this date ID is same, because this calendar is same for everyone. So this is done as well. So far our structuring is done. This is what we needed to do from this Power Query. So Power Query will do all these steps every time automatically, and we are not worried about it. So next thing is just simply close and apply. So once you close and apply, Power BI will automatically assign relationship in behind, which is a good thing, but we do not want that, because we want to learn how data modeling is done. So we need to remove the relationships and we need to give the relationship by ourselves. So it will be loading the data now. So the data is loaded and we will go and check our model. So if we see the model, so see automatically all the many of the relationships are assigned, but we don't want them. So I will remove them one by one, and then we can learn how to assign them by ourselves. So how we need to remove that? Simply click here and delete it. So the relationship will be deleted. So I will do all the relations, then I will resume to assign them. So the relationships are removed. So now we need to see what are the fact tables and what are the dimension tables. Then we will connect them and we will make our schema, because we know that schema is developed between the fact tables and the dimension tables. So I will zoom in that. Okay, so our schema is going to be developed between the fact table, which is this one, and this is resource assignment distribution, means this is a dimension table, keep it there. This is fact table dates, and I think this resource is a fact table as well. Okay, I see here one thing. For that I will go back into the Power Query. Why? Because see columns, there is nothing column, it should be a name. So for that I will go back into the Power Query and I will make the changes. The changes should be made in here. You see, yeah, the same thing we need to do. What I will do, remove the first row. Sorry, I did some wrong. Remove column, no. Remove, yeah, from here. Remove the top row. 1 and make them as a header. Yeah, this is the case. And then the same thing, I need to go split most left, this one, and remove that, make this. Okay, it is done. So now I will load it. Okay, so okay, it again gave the relationship. Okay, we can delete them, no issue. So these three are my fact tables. So everything else is a dimension table. So this is non-labor distribution unit, keep it here. Material distribution, keep it here. This is resource assignment, keep it here. And bring that earned value cost distribution, planned value cost distribution, actual cost distribution, actual labor unit distribution, planned value labor, and this is planned value cost. And for the others, we need to bring from here, this is activities distribution. This is also something we have made, and we will see if, yeah, we have here earned value labor, actual cost. So you can arrange in any way, but the point is that we need to learn how to connect them. So how I'm going to connect? We know that schema is developed by connecting the primary key with foreign key from fact table to dimension table. So these are fact tables. So I'm going to connect all the dimension tables with these fact tables. How? This is my primary key. We know that activity ID. So this will go and connect with this one to many relation. You will see here will be static, here will be one. See, static means many and one mean one. So one to many. Similarly, this activity ID will be connected with this. So one by one we will connect them all to develop our schema. This is our schema which we are developing. The same schema is developed in Primavera, which the developers do, and they allow us very limited features to use. Here we can use many features as far as earned value management is concerned. These earned value related data is connected. Here we can connect them as well. So these primary keys are connected with foreign keys. So now we need to see the another fact table which having the primary key as a date ID. So every column has a date ID. You see, dates ID, dates ID, dates ID. So now we need to connect them, dates ID to dates ID, one versus many, one to many relation. You see, many and one. Same concept will be applied for the others. Same concept here. You see, a complete network is now developing. So once you do these things by yourself, then you will understand what is the meaning of this table, where it is coming from P6. And this is the key. If you see a table and if you know the source where from it is coming inside P6, that means you know P6 very well now. So and it will make your life easy, and it will be very helpful to like do the analysis in reporting. So this was remaining, so I will do this as well. Okay, it is saying many to many. Okay, this is labor, maybe. Okay, multiple labors may be connected. So oh sorry, I don't need to do this. I should do this one to many. And for dates we will do this. So now you also understand this is very important to keep the name same. So I know that dates ID, everywhere it's dates ID, so it's a same thing. So it is very time saving and easy, because we know that what type of data is inside this column. So you need to give the name same as well, because other names are coming from P6, they will never be changed. Activity ID, activity name, they are same. Resource ID, resource name. But these names which you gave, dates ID or this units, for example this I will go earned value labor unit, distribution, everywhere distribution. So this is telling me that this is distribution, means it's a dimension table. Okay, so what else is remaining? I think date wise we have connected with all. Here we didn't connect, we need to connect here I think, or it is, yeah, I will bring the date here. It was connected already. Okay, so the third fact table now going to be connected with others. What is the primary key here? We know that resource ID we saw in P6 in part 2. So this will go and connect here, one to many. See, many and one. Similarly, resource ID will be connected with this, and resource ID will be connected with this. Okay, so our schema is done. So if you see what type of schema is this, so if you analyze, this is not actually the star schema, this is a galaxy schema. Why? Because we have more than one fact table and they are connected with multiple dimension tables. So if I just arrange it little bit, you will see a proper shape of a schema that this network is connected. So from this is the end of the part 2, because we have developed our end of part 3, we have developed our schema, which is a galaxy schema. From next part we will be starting the DAX course, and we will learn what is DAX, how to write the DAX, then we will develop the reports, and then the most important part is to understand the flow of data, how data is flowing. If I am filtering something from here, how it is connected, and then how the data is coming. So apparently this network seems very, very complex, that I don't know what is going on. But if you know, if you have done that by yourself, by your hands, then you will understand, okay, this fact table is connected to every dimension table with activity ID, and this every dimension table is connected to another fact table through date ID. So now we can understand what is the type of data, means how data can be flowing from one table to another table. So this is called filter, context and data flow. We will learn that once we have developed our reports, and we will deep dive into such different complex analysis. So I think this is the end of part 3.